Tonight at 6, both sides are taking sworn testimony and preparing for another key showdown in the case against Casey. Good evening. I'm Martha Sigalski.
I'm Jim Payne. Prosecutors today questioned two newly added defense psychiatrists who will help Anthony's team explain one big lingering question. West 2's Bob Keeling joins us live from the courthouse. Bob, what is that question?
Well, Jim, the defense has said in their own paperwork that they need these two new psychiatrists to help explain what the state calls Casey Anthony's so-called consciousness of guilt. In other words, help Anthony explain why she never reported her daughter missing and why she lied to investigators. And you feel confident about tomorrow's scientific evidence? Papers, Casey Anthony's defense says the two psychiatrists answering questions under oath would help them rebut allegations of Casey's so-called consciousness of guilt. In other words, Anthony knew what she was doing when she lied to her family and investigators early on. Defense attorney Richard Hornsby says the doctors could help Anthony's defense finally explain her odd behavior.
I've got to think that whatever these people are being deposed about today is going to be the explanation that Jose Baez says he will reveal in the first 2 minutes of his opening statement as to why Casey Anthony took 31 days to reveal this to her family.
First thing in the morning, the two sides will be back before Judge Belvin Perry debating more scientific evidence. That includes a suspect stain that was left in Casey Anthony's car trunk liner. Is it biological proof that Kaylee Anthony's body was there?
The stain in the trunk, I think, is important.
If Judge Perry allows Anthony's murder trial jury to hear evidence of the stain, Hornsby says it's a vivid image that could sway them to the state's theory.
And it makes for an obvious conclusion that a jury can reach on their own. They don't really need a scientist to tell them what that stain may or may not mean.
Now, that hearing resumes tomorrow at 9 o'clock before Judge Belvin Perry. We should also mention that these two psychiatrists that the defense wants to add, well, the prosecution still has the opportunity to raise an objection to them being included because they were added to the defense's witness list after Judge Perry's deadline. Reporting live at the courthouse, Bob Keeling, West 2 News.